What's going on, people? Welcome back to Premsy TV. We're here to preview the Brighton versus Arsenal game tomorrow on New Year's Eve, people. And let me just start with the very sad news that was hit the football world yesterday with the passing of Pele. So first of all, I just want to say rest in peace to Pele. Obviously, I wasn't fortunate enough to see him play myself, but as we all know, he's a prominent figure in the footballing world with what he's achieved. And it's just very, very sad news. I want to give out all my thoughts and blessings to his family and everybody that's, hurting right about now, the nation of Brazil. It is very, very sad news, people. But look, putting that to one side, we've got a very important game tomorrow against Brighton. A bit of a bogey team of ours. It's not going to be no easy game at all. But there's a lot of positives to take with the way Arsenal are playing right now. There's a lot of positives in the performances, the character that these boys are showing. So, to what I say to all you Arsenal fans is don't be too worried. You get me? Enjoy New Year's Eve because I'm sure the boys will pull it out the bag for us. But look, if we get into it, yeah, and we actually deep the situation about Brighton, they're on it. They're on a good run of form themselves. They lost Graham Potter, and it doesn't look like really much has changed. They're still going on an upward spiral, which, to be fair, credit to them, it's absolutely unbelievable with the amount of players that they've lost as well, the backroom staff that they lost. So you got to give them massive credit. Now, we haven't beaten Brighton since 2021, towards the back end of the season, 2021. So they are a bit of a bogey team. They tend to pull out performances against us and the bigger teams in general. So it is going to be a little bit tricky. But like I said, the boys have given us belief to think now we can go in and beat anybody. And that's what's going to be key as well, because within the next, say, 5 games, it's going to be a very tough test. And if we could get through these 5 games unscathed and get a good amount of points out of him, I feel like it'll then set the tone for the rest of the season, the second part of the season, for us to carry on and maintain this title charge. Now, as we all know, they knocked us out of the Carabao Cup earlier on, just before Christmas time, and for me, I'm not going to lie, it was a bitter pill to swallow because I want to win every single competition that we're in. You get me? The Carabao Cup is an opportunity for Arsenal Football Club to lift the trophy at the end of the season. Unfortunately, we are out of it. But then again, people can say that it might be a blessing in disguise because we didn't come back with the Carabao Cup fixture just before West Ham. And it gave us a little bit of time to settle back into the team, the players to come back from the World Cup and not have too much games on their hands. However, Brighton will be without a few key players tomorrow. So Caicedo is going to be out. As we know, Webster's been out for them. And McAllister, who won the World Cup with Argentina, I think is a little bit too soon for him to come back into the game. So thankfully, it looks like their midfield has been a little bit altered. Obviously, Webster being in their defence. But that's one of Arsenal's strongest points this season, our midfield trio. Odegaard, Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka has stepped up to new heights this season. And again, with Martin Odegaard, he come in. We've always seen the quality that Martin Odegaard has had at the Arsenal. But now this season, he's making that position his own. He's got the captain's armband and he's really stepping up to games. Against West Ham, I must say, Odegaard's performance, it was second to none. You get me? He was one of the only players in that first half for me that was really grabbing the ball and trying to make things happen. The second half, we've seen the quality that Odegaard has had. And as we can see, we had a player like Mesut Ozil in the team before who would always create chances, create opportunities, but was the work ethic there? I can't say it was. With Martin Odegaard, he puts the miles in, he runs. And to be honest, yeah, when we first was going to sign Odegaard, I was looking at him, James Maddison, a few other players that we were linked to at the time. And maybe I didn't look at Odegaard as in being that player that we should really have gone for. Maybe, being honest, I would have went in for a James Maddison. However, he's proven me wrong. He stepped up to the bill, and massive credit to Odegaard. Another player who I want to give massive credit to from the Arsenal side is Ben White. I feel like he's a bit of a unsung hero. You get me? I think he's playing out of his favoured position at right back, we must give him massive credit. Now, he's going to be returning to the Amex tomorrow, a place where he's been playing for quite a few years. And hopefully he can not let the occasion get to him, not let the fans get to him, because we've seen when we have played Brighton, the Brighton fans have been on the back of Ben White. And to be honest, I don't understand why. If you're going to be getting a move to Arsenal, why not? Why not go? Especially if you're playing for a team like Brighton, no disrespect to them. But look, if we look at the whole situation, after this game, I believe we're playing Newcastle, which is going to be a very tough game. We need to be collecting the points really badly because we're seeing Man City keeping up to the pace now. They're back into second, 5 points adrift off us. And we have to maintain this because I want to see Arsenal maintain this kind of form, get the 3 points in, and just go on every game and collect them 3 points. Because when we do play Man City in February, it's going to be a tough test. Now, last season, towards the back end of the season, Boxing Day, we played Man City at the Emirates. And for me, we were very unlucky to not get that victory. Rodri scored in the last minute or so and literally just absolutely sunk all of us. But now this is a different kind of Arsenal. Hopefully, we don't know if Gabriel Jesus will be back by then, but we don't have to fear now. Eddie Nketiah looks like he's stepping up to the plate, and that's what he needed. He needed that first goal with Gabriel Jesus' absence, because if he didn't get that first goal, yeah, I'm telling you now, people would have been on him, myself included. I'm not going to lie, because I have been a little bit doubtful of Eddie Nketiah at times, maybe a little bit unfairly, but I always do back the boys and support the boys. So I'm happy for Eddie Nketiah that he's managed to get that goal, and what a finish it was. The turn on that and the finish was unbelievable. You get me? And I think if it was a Gabriel Jesus who done that, maybe we would have been speaking about it with higher lengths and higher talks. But big up to Eddie Nketiah. Let's have a look at some of what some of you are saying in the comments. Zebri looks like a good manager. To be fair to him, yeah, from what he's had to do and come in and take over from Graham Potter, you got to give the guy massive credit. He's younger than Potter. He looks like he's playing the similar kind of football, and it looks like the Brighton fans really do like him. There's loads of messages in here saying R.I.P. Pele. Again, a massive, massive figure in the football world, and it's sad to see him pass away. It's just crazy right about now. But he did live a good age. He was 82 years of age. He had a good life behind him. So it's about celebrating his life. And I believe a lot of people are celebrating his life. So he managed to get the last World Cup in as well, which he's seen, unfortunately, for Brazil. They didn't go too far. But it's sad news. It is sad news. And rightly so. Everyone's, giving their condolences all over social media and everywhere, because he deserves it. He actually does deserve it. But look, in this game, our defence is going to have to be switched on. As we've seen against West Ham, Saliba coming back in, not getting much game time. I think it had a little bit of an impact on the way he started the game. He made that mistake and gave the penalty away. For me, it was soft. It was actually soft. But he grew into the game. We started to shore things up, get a little bit more developed towards the back end of the game. And you got to say, in this part of the season now, there's no time for errors. We can't be messing up here and there. We have to be on the ball. Every single player has to be on the ball if we want to achieve our targets. Now, for me, I think our target has changed. We're all going to be happy if we finish in the top four. Is massive progression, but we need to be aiming higher. If we go and aim higher and we win that Premier League, because nothing says that we can't win that Premier League. It is going to be a tall order with Man City of how developed they are throughout the years, and having a massive, massive figure up front in Erling Haaland, who's just putting the goals away. I think he's on 20 goals already, which is crazy numbers. But the beauty of it with Arsenal is the goals are getting spread around the team this season. You get me? We're not just seeing one person scoring all the goals. We've been reliant on Aubameyang over the last couple of years to get us all our goals. This year, it's totally different. Odegaard scoring, Partey's getting a couple of goals here and there, Xhaka's scoring, Saka and Martinelli have gone to new heights. And you know what? Saka in that game as well, especially that second half, unplayable. Top finish. Top finish. Let's get some of your comments in and see what the mandem are saying in the chat. Big up to everybody in the chat. Make sure you're smashing a like on the video as well, people, as it helps push the content out. Brighton are very good. They slapped us last season. Yeah, they did. To be fair, they played us off the park. They've got a very good patterns of play within their team and a very good chemistry, but they're missing key players. Like I said, Caicedo's out, McAllister, who we just seen win the World Cup, is out, and I think our midfield this season has been second to none, really. So the game is going to be won in the middle of the park, and with the injuries that they've got and the players that are out, I can see us dominating that middle of the park. Like I said, it's not going to be an easy game. There's no easy game in the Premier League, but it's one of them. Let's see what Earl's saying. Big up yourself, Earl. Ben White has been able in unbelievable form. Yeah, I just touched on Ben White. I think he's quality. Big up Wilson. Yo, Premsley Wilson in the house. Big up to yourself. Christopher, Eddie will do fine against teams outside the top six. The worry for me comes against bigger teams. You know what? Yeah, we got to give him a little bit of slack though, because, last season we threw him in against Chelsea and he performed. He more or less clinched us that victory. So he can do it against the big teams as well. It's just the matter of the consistency. I think with Eddie Nketiah, what we want to see now is he's going to be getting a good run of games in the Premier League for Arsenal. He's going to be playing with the A team, just like Gunnar Lee was saying to me on one of the podcasts. He was saying to me, Eddie Nketiah needs to have a run out with the first teamers rather than the second string team, and you'll be able to see his quality and what he can give us. I think if he contains that consistency throughout, we're not asking him to score piles and piles of goals. Obviously, that's what we ideally want, but we want him to be effective in the games. If he's not scoring, we want him to be creating. If he's not creating, we want him to be creating the space for others. We want to see him do what Jesus has been doing, the impact Jesus has had on this Arsenal team. And to be fair to Eddie Nketiah, I must say, I can see against West Ham, he kind of adapted his game to what he normally plays like. And he was getting into deeper roles, picking up the ball from deep and trying to make stuff happen. So I think we just got to show some belief in him, show some, hope and faith in him, because right about now, up until the January transfer windows opens, we're pretty much kind of in the same situation. Against West Ham, we didn't have anybody that was there to come off the bench and really affect the game, barring, a Marquinhos and a Fabio Vieira. But for me, Marquinhos is still too young. I would probably send him out on loan so we could get some regular game time, maybe to a Wolves or someone like that, because as we know, they were quite interested in Marquinhos as well before we pinched him from him. So it will be something like that. Fabio Vieira, yeah, I see glimpses of brilliance with Fabio Vieira, but I still think that he needs this full season in the Premier League to develop his game, understand the league, bulk up a little bit, and then next season we'll probably start seeing the best out of a Fabio Vieira. But going into that January window, as we've all heard and seen, a £45 million bid has been rejected for Mudryk, and it looks like Arsenal are going to be going in again with a second bid and trying to get that deal over the line. Now, what I like about this is that Arsenal are showing that they are proactive. Arsenal are showing that they are trying to go and get signings through the door. As we've seen in Liverpool, they've already signed Gakpo. He's going to be coming in on the 1st of January, ready to kickstart his Premier League career. That's the kind of thing that we need Arsenal to be doing, is making signings early. So as soon as the window opens, people are just literally walking through the door, mixing in with the team, getting the understanding, and can hit the ground running. Now, who are we going to sign? That's another question, because there's been quite a few names branded about, but we all know we need some attacking options. Raul says T-Bag needs to bulk up. If people don't know who T-Bag is, yeah, go onto Google, type in Prison Break and type in T-Bag. Yo, it's absolutely funny. I'm not going to lie. Oh, just dropped my fucking phone. But yeah, people, man, look, let's see what Wilson's got to say. Arsenal cannot afford to make the same mistakes that we made last January transfer window. Arsenal have to learn from their mistakes. Otherwise, we will fall short again. You know what, bro? I absolutely echo that. Last January, we let Aubameyang go. And even though we weren't firing on all cylinders, we knew he was capable of getting a goal here and there. We can't be making them same mistakes again. We really can't be making them same mistakes again. We have to go in this January and strengthen. I'm not saying go out and buy 5 players now, because we don't want to disrupt and ruin the pattern of the team go and get 2, 3 players, two at the minimum, I would say. Three if you want to have have a little bit more luxury for the team. But I would say go and get 2 players. There's talks of João Felix as well, which I think would be a very good signing for Arsenal. He'll give us good options up front. But I'm just not with the no option to buy. I don't want us to get a player on loan, pay his wages, pay the loan fee, and then we don't have an option to buy. Atletico don't have to put an obligation to buy in, but an option to buy, why not? You get me? Because it'll be disheartening if we see Felix come to the Arsenal, hit the fucking ground running, and we can't go and buy him. Or if we are going to go and buy him, we're going to have to buy him for silly money, which Arsenal are not really going to go and do. So it's going to be interesting to see how the window falls. A name I've been branding around is Leroy Sané. I think he's someone that we can go into Bayern Munich with an offer and go and get. He's played in the Premier League before. He knows Arteta. We've seen what his capabilities in the Premier League are. Unbelievable. You get me? But I think Mudryk is going to be the guy that Arsenal are really going after. We've seen Sky Sports and many other outlets report that an offer has been made and it has also been rejected. So, no one can really kind of lie about that, especially Arsenal. We see Mudryk watching the Arsenal versus West Ham game and stuff. So it's gonna be interesting to see if we can get him over the line. But we have to move fast. Whatever we do in the January transfer window, we have to move fast. We can't be letting it go to the last day, letting it go to the last hour of the window to get players through the door. We need to move fast. And that's something that, I'd say Arsenal have changed a little bit since over previous seasons. We have been getting players through the door pretty quick and getting them settled into the squad. I think with the World Cup just being gone and Arsenal having a month there to really look at the targets, understand what kind of packages they want to put together, I feel like they've already kind of done that in certain senses. And by them going in for a Mudryk, like I said earlier, it just shows that they are being proactive in the window. See what Wilson's saying. It is about time that some people and pundits need to put respect on Arsenal's name, Premsy. You know what, bro? I totally agree with you. But at the end of the day, I want to go under the radar. You get me? Let's just go under the radar, focus on ourselves, take every game as it comes. And by the time it comes to the end of the window, people could be looking at us in a total different light. I think deep down in pundits' hearts, deep down in opposing fans' hearts, they are looking at Arsenal and thinking, you know what? We don't want to be going to the Emirates anytime soon. You get me? As we've seen with West Ham, when they come, they were literally just, especially that first half, they had 10 man behind the ball, played a different system to what they normally play. And that's something we're going to have to get used to now because teams are starting to respect us. Again, teams are going to be coming to the Emirates, even away at home, because our away record has been absolutely brilliant in recent times. So teams are going to be looking at us and thinking, you know what, we're going to have to alter the way we play, try to make it hard for Arsenal, to break us down and whatnot. But this is where the quality will show. This is where we will see what the Arsenal is made of. Because I'm not going to lie, in that West Ham game, I was a little bit nervous after that first half. I thought that first half for me was quite dreadful. But there was nobody breaking the lines. There was not really any kind of, creative options, firing. However, that second half, we come out and we were absolutely second to none, smacking them up left, right, and centre. Got the goals early and just built on that. Got out of first gear, and the gears only went up. So that's what we want to do, man. We want to continue in that form. Yeah, man. Big up Passive, my brother. I'm telling you, yo, we're gonna have to link up now, yo, for one of the. I want to get to the United game. See if you could pattern me the tickets up for the United game, my bro, because that's the next one that I want to go to, and we'll go and have a good little journey down there and have a good laugh. But look, the predictions are coming in. Big up Luca. Luca's saying I think 1-1. To be honest, I'm going to be confident with it. I don't know why you're not confident, to be honest with you. I understand that, Brighton have been a bogey team for us, but you should be confident in this Arsenal team now. It's best part of 15 games gone, and we're not really seeing Arsenal fold. If I was you, I'd be confident. I'll back the boys. Even if you weren't confident on Eddie Nketiah, we've seen he's come into the team. He's relished it. It looks like he's grabbed his opportunity with both hands and he's scored. You get me? So if I was you, be confident. Like I said, these men have got a number of players out, key players out of their team. So even though the system is great, whoever they bring in will fit to their system, it's still not going to be the same levels of quality that they normally have with a Caicedo and a McAllister in that midfield. So I think Arsenal should be confident. We should go there full of confidence and not try to worry about what Brighton are going to do. Let's focus on our game. Let's literally just go there with our tails up and get them 3 points because it's due. It's due for Arsenal to go to Brighton and get these victories. I'm telling you now. Question from Wilson. Why on earth are you not confident about the Brighton game for? Come on, Luca. Exactly, bro. We need to be confident because the more support we give to the boys, the more confidence we put into the boys, winning will just become second nature. And right now, the way we're performing is quality, man. Like even when you think that it's going against you, these Arsenal boys come out and they literally just flip it on its head. You know what I'm saying? Asif, yes, definitely. I'm working on it, bro. My brother, trust me, man. We need to go and get that game under the belt. I'm telling you, it's going to be a tasty one. And like I said, the next 5 fixtures are going to be difficult. You know, we've got United in there, we've got Newcastle in there, so it is going to be a big test for where we are. Like I said, if we could come past them games unscathed, happy days, happy days. Let's have a look into Arteta for a little minute because Arteta deserves massive credit for what he's done at this club. Obviously, myself, I think everybody kind of knows where I used to stand on Mikel Arteta, but football's there for opinions to be changed, and he's changed my opinion on him because now he's had a few seasons under his belt, especially last season. You know, the beginning of the season was quite dreadful. Towards the back end of the season, you know, we started to pick up them points and really look like we're in the top four race. We did fall off towards the end and make a few hiccups, but this season, you know, getting a few more players in through the door, we see this Arsenal team really developing to new heights. And I think what Mikel Arteta is especially good at doing is interacting with the board, interacting with the owners, and making these man jump on the train, making these man understand the project and understand how important the Arsenal is to the fans and to English Premier League football, that we need to get to them kind of heights. So I just want to say big up to Mikel Arteta as well. Just before we do go, we'll have to look at a few more of your questions. Great content as usual. Premsy, big up to yourself. Premsy, does it worry you that we're not being linked to a backup for Partey as he's one of our most important and injury prone players? Or are you happy with El Nene? You know what, bro? It's not that I'm not kind of happy that we're linked to players. I just feel that we have got cover in that position right now. I feel like we've got more important stuff to deal with first, like in the attacking third. You know, if Eddie Nketiah gets injured, we're pretty much fucked, to be honest, when it comes to the attacking options. If a Saka gets injured, we're pretty much fucked. If a Martinelli gets injured, yeah, until Emil Smith Rowe can come in, we're pretty much fucked. So I think we've got bigger fish to fry. I think if we can work on getting 2 attacking midfielders in, the one thing we know about Mohamed El Nene, yeah, he's no glamorous player, but he can come in and do a job. If he's with the first team and he's got that quality around him, we know that he can step up and do a job for us. And that's all we need, to be honest with you. We need El Nene to come in and be able to do that job. We give him that contract. So I can't really see Arsenal until the summer really looking and getting a cover for Thomas Partey, because I think they see El Nene as that cover. Otherwise, they want to give him a 1 year extension, to be honest. But we're going to get onto predictions shortly, but if I was you, bro, I wouldn't worry too much about the Thomas Partey situation, even though we know what he gives to the team and we know that he's very hard to replace with his quality. But like I said, Thomas Partey is in a league of his own in certain senses. Which kind of DM are we going to bring in that's going to live up to the same kind of quality as Thomas Partey? For me, is more important to go and get that forward player. Big up Imi. Imi says we always struggle with Brighton. Premsy, not going to lie. I agree. We do always struggle with Brighton. They are a bogey team. However, they've got key players out. You get me? Like I said, Caicedo's been unbelievable for them this season, and he's out. Webster's out as well still, who's been one of their best centre-backs over the last couple of years or so. And also, McAllister from the World Cup is out. He's not going to be back and ready. So I think our midfield should be able to to win and dominate that game, to be fair. And the game is going to be won in the middle. The positive for me as well is Brighton are not a team that are going to just sit back and take the pressure. You know what I mean? Brighton are a team that are going to come out and play football, and that suits us right down to the ground. Because as we've seen against West Ham, when they put 10 bodies behind the ball, it was quite difficult for us in that first half to try to break them down. Where with Brighton, they're going to come out and want to play. And when they want to come out and play, we can hurt them on the counter attack, something we've been quite, strong at this season. And also, there'll be lines there to break because they're going to be having maybe a higher defense than what a West Ham was. So it works hand in hand, to be honest with you. The Jesus injury is a massive blow for Arsenal. However, other players need to step up massively. Agree with you, bro. It's a massive, massive, massive problem that he's out. However, we seen him there. We seen him still in the dugout, regardless of his injury, supporting the boys, keeping that, morale up. He's not just at home watching the game. He's in and around the club. His presence is still there. And that's what I love about Gabriel Jesus. You get me? He's there to motivate the team. As we've seen with Saka's interview at the end of the game as well on Amazon, he said they could still feel Jesus' presence there. He was still pushing him on. He was still egging him on. And to be fair, that's what we need. We need players like that with that kind of mentality. For too long now, we've had some absolute shit kind of players with some shit mentality. But now things are changing. And like I said, that's due down to Mikel Arteta. We've seen with the players that he's brought in over recent times, they've been good. As a matter of fact, Brighton and Newcastle, Newcastle, they're not going to be an easy game, but they're going to be coming to the Emirates, and I don't bet against anybody. You know what I mean? When it comes to Arsenal at the Emirates, I think, 30 points out of 30 now at the Emirates, which is basically a fortress. Big up to the Ashburton Army. Big up to the fans. The atmosphere has become unbelievable, and this is what we want to see. We want to see that turnaround where the fans can really be that 12 man. And I think at the Emirates, that is definitely happening. Willow, big up Premsy. Is it true? Rumour has it Arteta might be looking on getting Caicedo. What's the take? And what do you make of the player? To be honest with you, I haven't really seen too many reports branding around. Obviously, maybe a few rumours here and there, but nothing concrete. If we was to get him in, I think that would be a very good signing. He's been doing it in the Premier League now since Basuma's kind of left, and he's really stepped up since Basuma's gone. And if we was to get him, I think it would be a good signing, good squad depth, especially for backup for Thomas Partey. But can you see Brighton just letting everybody go? I'm a bit unsure. Maybe when it comes to the summer, it's a possibility. But I do like the player. I think he's very composed on the ball. He's got an engine and a half on him. He's got a very good pass on him as well. And he understands the system well. He sticks to his position. I do like him. If he was to get somebody like that in, I'd be happy. But I'm probably seeing if he was to go for a midfielder in January, he's probably going to be more Tielemans kind of player. We've been linked to him for a little while now. So, he's going to be out of contract in the summer. If Arsenal go in, put a 15-20 million pound bid into Leicester, especially they're not being playing too well as well. Will he come now? That's a possibility. Or do we just wait until the summer and say to him, look, we want you for free. We're going to bring you into Arsenal Football Club, hang fire, and then we'll go and sign you in the summer. And to be fair, I would probably go for the latter, because then we kind of see where the player's mentality is at, see if he really wants to join Arsenal. Because say we don't sign him in January, we have these talks with him and tell him we're going to sign him in the summer, and then another team comes in, gives him a big wage, Barcelona, Real Madrid, somebody like that, and he decides to fuck us off and go, then see you later, mate. That's what I say. See you later. You go and do what you're doing, because they're the kind of players that we don't need at the club, that are just willing to go for a quick buck here or there. We want players that are going to be serious about Arsenal Football Club. And now players should be serious about us. We're sitting top of the table, 5 points clear. And like I said, the way Arteta's developing this team is absolutely brilliant. But people, I'm going to give you my prediction of the game before I wrap up. I'm quite confident. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal win in this game. I'm going to go with a Saka and an Eddie Nketiah to score as well. I'm going to get Eddie another goal in this game. I think his tail's up, and he's going to be raring to go. You get me? He's going to be raring to go. But make sure you smash a like on this video before you do head out, people. We will be here tomorrow for a watch along, Arsenal versus Brighton, people. So make sure you stay tuned in for that. And also, you get me? Make sure you support the channel because it is very important. If you're new, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. But we'll see you tomorrow, people. Come on, the Arsenal. Big up the boys. Let's continue in this same form. Peace and love, and we'll see you on the next one.